Unit 12 is Plant Anatomy and Plant Physiology. Plant anatomy deals with the study of internal structure of plants. That includes the internal structure of root, stem and leaf. In plant anatomy, we are going to learn about different plant tissues. Plant physiology deals with functioning of plants. It includes photosynthesis and respiration. We studied about various types of plant tissues in 9th standard. Where are the plant tissues located? Every plant part is made up of plant tissues. If we want to study these tissues, we need a microscope. We have to take a small slice of young plant and keep this under the microscope. The microscope enlarges the image of the object so that we can study different types of tissues. The study of internal structure of plants and plant parts is called as plant anatomy. Now let us learn how the tissues are organized. We know atoms are organized into molecules. Molecules together form organelles. Do you know the name of some cell organelles? We have already learned different cell organelles in lower classes. They are mitochondria, chloroplast, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum. These organelles are organized into cells. Every cell is made up of various organelles. Cells group together to form tissues. These tissues form organs such as root, stem, leaves. A root is made up of various tissues like parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, xylem and phloem. These organs together form a plant body. Internal structure of plant was published by Nehemiah Grove. He is called as father of plant anatomy. What are tissues? Let us see now. A tissue is made up of group of cells that we had learned in 9th standard. Now let us see group of what type of cells. A tissue is made up of group of similar type of cells. The cells are similar in structure and origin, or the cells of a tissue are dissimilar in structure and origin. A tissue is made up of cells which are similar in structure and origin or dissimilar in structure and origin, but they perform similar function. All the cells of a tissue perform similar function. For example, xylem is a tissue. It is made up of 4 different types of cells, but all perform a same function, that is transportation of water. Plant tissues are classified into 2 major types based on whether the cells divide or not. The 2 major types of plant tissues are meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. The meristematic tissues and permanent tissues form tissue system. Different tissue systems were recognized by Sachs in 1875. The 3 types of tissue system are dermal or epidermal tissue system, ground tissue system and vascular tissue system. Let us see these tissue systems in detail. If we take a small slice of root, stem or leaf and observe under microscope, we will get an enlarged image that shows different types of tissue systems. The outermost covering of plant body is formed of a tissue system, that is dermal tissue system or epidermal tissue system. At the center there is vascular tissue system. It is made up of xylem and phloem. Except these two tissue systems, the remaining area is filled with ground tissue system. Epidermal tissue system, ground tissue system and vascular tissue systems are the different types of tissue systems. Epidermal tissue system or dermal tissue system forms the outermost covering of plant body. It is made up of epidermis, stomata and epidermal outgrowths. What is epidermis? Epidermis is the outermost layer. It is made up of single layer of cells. This is epidermis. It is the outermost layer. This epidermal layer protects the inner tissues. What is the function of epidermis? Protecting the inner tissues. This is epidermis. This epidermis has minute holes. They are called as stomata. Stomata are minute openings found on the epidermis. These stomata help in transpiration. What is transpiration? Loss of water in the form of vapor through stomata is called as transpiration. We learnt about transpiration in 9th standard. Stomata help in transpiration. This diagram shows a part of internal structure of root. Here the outermost layer is epidermis. This root epidermis has outgrowths called as root hairs. Root hairs are outgrowths of root epidermis. These root hairs help in absorption of water and minerals. If we touch the stem of sunflower plant, it is rough. That is because of the presence of stem hairs. Root hairs. Now let us see ground tissue system. It is the second tissue system. This diagram shows a part of internal structure of root. Here the outermost part is epidermal tissue system. Near the center there is xylem and phloem, which form vascular tissue system. The ground tissue system includes all the tissues of the plant body except epidermal and vascular tissues. Now let us mark the areas of ground tissue system. Below the epidermis there is cortex. The last layer of cortex is endodermis. Next to the endodermis there is pericycle. At the center there is pith. Cortex, endodermis, pericycle, pith are the components of ground tissue system. The ground tissue system includes all the tissues except the outer epidermis and the vascular tissue system.